Hello, my dear health seekers. Inga from Health Origins here. So let's have a cup of tea together and let's discuss how we can banish food cravings for good. So I don't know about you, but I often get food cravings, especially in the evening. So cravings is a problem for a lot of people. Um, and it's so easy to succumb to them, right? So myself included, I still need to work on this area, but I'm going to give you 3 tips that you can put into practice that will help you to deal with the situation when the cravings arise. So step 1 is to actually notice when the craving arises and to ask yourself a question. Am I really hungry? Is this true hunger or is this a craving? So awareness is the first step in anything you're trying to change, right? So that's why this is step number 1, to become aware of the craving and asking yourself, is it true hunger or is it actually a craving? If it's true hunger, so for example, your stomach is grumbling or you haven't been eating for a while, so 3-4 hours have gone by and you feel the hunger signal, then obviously, just go ahead and eat. That's your body naturally telling you that you need more food, you need more calories. And hopefully you're choosing something whole food, plant-based, healthy option. Go ahead and eat if that's true hunger. However, most of us fall into the second category where it is really a craving. And it doesn't matter what the craving, is for. A lot of people have cravings to soothe their emotions, to procrastinate. Like myself, I often feel like having a cup of tea, something sweet, going into the kitchen to make a toast or something else, to procrastinate in a way, to put off starting maybe a difficult project or a tedious task or something like that, whether at home or at work, in the office. I'm sure we all had this, that those cravings sometimes are to procrastinate on something, and feelings as well, feelings of boredom, perhaps feelings of sadness, any kind of different emotions. Could be a number of things that cause the craving, and sometimes just the taste sensation. You see something, a dessert, or smell something and you're like, ooh, I really want that. It's like just pleasure sensation. We're seeking pleasure. Once you established that this is actually your craving, then we move to phase number 2, which is to relax your body from this heightened state where you kind of a bit of anxious, a bit of nervous, a bit of this kind of nervous energy. You kind of have this craving and you want to really satisfy it. You want to just grab the food. So you're in this kind of heightened state. To relax your body, what we could do is to do some vagus nerve breathing. So, 3 deep breaths to relax your system. So vagus nerve is the biggest nerve in your body, and it regulates how you switch from sympathetic response, fight or flight, this kind of nervous, anxious energy, to relax and relaxation and digestion phase, which is parasympathetic state of your body. So vagus nerve controls that, and how we can switch it on, how we can activate vagus nerve, is by exhaling double the amount of time you inhaled. So if you inhale for a count of 4, you exhale for a count of 8. If you inhale for a count of 5, you exhale for a count of 10. So basically double your exhale as you had inhale. So to demonstrate this, you inhale for a count of 4 and exhale for a count of 8. And obviously no pauses in between because I'm just talking, but inhale for 4 and exhale for 8, and do 3 breaths like that. And that will calm your nervous system right down and get you into this parasympathetic rest and relaxation and digestion mode. So that's step number 2. Step number 3, if that hasn't fully relaxed you, which it might not do quite yet, then the step 3 is to wait out your craving, because cravings are like tidal waves. They rise up and we normally grab for something, anything, you know, when it's rising and it feels like you can't stand it any longer, you need to grab something. But what normally happens if you wait it out, they level out, plateau and dip down, so they subside. So that's what we want to do. So you want to put 5 or 10 minutes, ideally probably 10 minutes I would suggest. Put it on your phone or a timer, egg timer or whatever, and wait it out. You can make yourself a cup of herbal tea like I've got here, you know, or have a drink of water, but wait it out, because a lot of times we grab for something too soon before we had a chance to even think about it, or let, you know, on the rise of that craving, we don't let it subside. Okay, so that's number 3. And then if you still have the craving after doing the 3-step process I've just mentioned, then the next phase, what you can do is you can use the Craving Tool. So I mentioned this tool in my previous videos, and it's actually from Judson Brewer's book, The Hunger Habit. I definitely recommend you read this book. It's a really great book where it helps you understand the psychology of how the whole craving, the hunger works, and gives you some really good tools how to handle it. And I do a breakdown of the book, and actually 21-day program. I break it down for you, so I'll link down below where you can watch my videos and follow along if you either don't have a book or you want a kind of a bit of explanation with the book, because it can get you know, you forget things, you know, you read it and then it just, oh, it makes sense, but then it just leaves your mind. So I've made a video series for you guys if you wanted to follow along, the hunger habit and 21 days to implement the hunger habit system. And I'll link specifically the Craving Tool where I discuss of how to actually use it. But in short, you basically, if you have the craving, you first of all notice you've got it, you acknowledge it, and then proceed to eat whatever food you're craving. However, you are doing it mindfully. So you don't rush it, you take each bite, you savor each bite, you smell it, you taste the sensation, you feel the feelings. Check with yourself how you feel emotionally at the start. How does the first bite taste? Is the taste really as nice as you were expecting? Because a lot of times we crave something and it tastes even nicer into our head and our imaginations than it actually does once we start eating it. So basically be mindful of every step of the way and of every mouthful, and eat whatever you're craving mindfully. And that way, awareness, so because Judson Brewer believes that awareness is 90% of the solution. So once you're aware of what you're doing and you're eating mindfully, you will start having aha moments. Oh, maybe this food is not that great as I thought. Or you start feeling the fullness symptoms quicker. Before, when you kind of eat as fast as I do sometimes, you don't even get to feel the fullness until like 10 minutes later, when you're like, your stomach is actually bursting, right? So when you're eating mindfully, you give yourself that time and that space to actually experience those satiety or whatever feelings and sensations that you would normally probably miss if you're rushing it, if you're eating absent-mindedly. Because how many times have you sat in front of TV watching a movie or an episode of something, and you realize, 5 minutes later that you just demolished, a whole tub of ice cream or a whole pack of crisps without even realizing you did, because you're not paying attention. You're kind of just mindlessly going through the motions out of habit, perhaps, out of taste, pleasure, sensations, and you don't actually even taste it because you're just doing it very automatically, right? So yeah, so the craving tool brings the mindfulness into the eating. And then once you start building that library of that craving tool, you'll start realizing different things that it either doesn't taste as nice, or your body doesn't feel as nice after eating it. If it's like a greasy donut, you actually start tasting that it's too greasy, too like sweet. Your body feels icky, you get a headache maybe afterwards, it's too much sugar. You start feeling all these different sensations and registering all these different things, and that helps you then next time when you come to this craving, you might remember how you last time you felt when you had that craving and you did eat the food. You might actually remember and not gonna want to repeat the experience. So yeah, so that's the craving tool. But hopefully step 1 to 3 will help you to actually not need to go to the craving tool, and actually your craving will subside before then. So quickly, just before we finish, to recap, step 1 is to notice that craving feeling and to ask yourself, is this true hunger or is it craving? Okay, if it's craving, then proceed to step 2. Do 3 deep breaths to activate vagus nerve, which will relax your body, puts you into kind of more relaxed state and parasympathetic state. And step 3, put a timer on for 5 or 10 minutes and wait out that craving urge. So do some urge surfing, in other words. So wait it out until that craving plateaus and actually subsides. So I hope that was useful for you guys. Let me know if you try the 3-step method. I'm intrigued to know how it worked for you. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe for more videos, either healthy lifestyle tips like this, or whole food plant-based recipes. And as always, remember, food is fuel, so be mindful of what you put in your body. Until next time.